Live from the AOK production house, you're inside of studio number 2. I'm Nick O'Kelly.
I'm Derek Daisy.
And it's To the Echo Radio Show, where we hear an echo on the wall and we talk about it.
I don't know what this show's about.
Never explained the title.
No.
You're going to have to get into that someday.
Yeah. Well, now I'm kind of regretting we ever called it this because we got a fight with Amazon Echo and Google search.
You know, I thought about that the other day because I Googled us and I was like, where did we go? And we're like pages down under, what's new with,
Amazon Echo. And it's like, well, all right. Speaking of echoes.
Yeah.
Well, we have an echo. We have an echo here. Visiting.
Here.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Nick. No! At 6'7", 479 pounds, we have Christine Morgan Plow.
Yeah. Come on down. It's Jerry Springer.
No, she doesn't weigh that at all, and I don't think she's 6'7". You weren't 6'7" the last time I saw you, Christine.
No, not quite. A girl can dream, though,
yeah,
right?
That's right. So how the hell are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I am so good. I'm so glad to be here with you guys.
Thank you. This is so sweet.
Welcome in.
Christine, I'm telling you, I've been name dropping you for like 3 shows now. I'm like, I'm going to ask her. I'm going to ask her to come on here. I'm going to do this because
I was like, okay, just do it.
Just do it. And I'm like, no, I'll do it. I'm going to
Nike,
ask.
if you'd like to sponsor the show.
Yeah. But
and then it finally happens, and it's just instant regret.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Well. Yeah. I think this interview's over. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Have a good night, guys.
Yeah. Woo!
That was the fastest interview we have ever had.
That's a unique distinction there. Oh, put that on the wall of fame.
So it's our humble little podcast here, and we're glad you're a part of it.
Yeah.
Oh, man. You guys, it's so overdue. I've known both of you for just so long. It is just time.
It is time. Christine, I haven't seen you. Well, I saw you about a year ago. You came into a show here in Charleston.
Yeah.
What was the country artist?
I came and I saw Miranda Lambert, and I think it was probably February of 2017.
Yeah.
You were at a Miranda Lambert?
No, I wasn't there. She had gotten tickets like as a last second thing, I believe, and she's like, "Hey, I'm going to be there. Do you want to go get something to eat?" Because I guess I'm one of the only people she knows here. I was like, yeah. I was like, yeah, I'll go. But she wanted to meet my child.
So you met her at the concession stand.
No, we went. We went to home team
barbecue.
Yeah.
It's barbecue, Derek.
Yeah, barbecue.
Home team's the best barbecue in town.
It wasn't even home team. I think I messed that up. Well, what was it? It was Jim and Nick's. Jim and Nick's.
I think it was Jim and Nick's. Yeah.
Oh. Christine, I'm very sorry.
No, it was good.
Jim and Nick's is pretty good. They're also local, but home team's better.
What? And I was Christine expected me to bring my child, and my wife's like, "No, you're not taking."
I really did. I really thought that you were going to come and that you were going to bring your baby, and I was so excited. I was like, "I'm going to meet Derek's baby," because Derek, I've known you for probably more than 10 years now.
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah, it feels. About there.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to meet this baby. And then you came in and you were like, my wife won't let me take the baby anywhere.
Yeah. And I know to some who might be looking on the outside, you're thinking, you're just trying to get a date with Christine. And I know why you might think that. But no, that's not what happened. In fact, I had to very clearly no, honey, she wanted me to bring the baby. She knows you exist. I swear. Like, this isn't a...
And she didn't want to run off with it.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, so it was...
I wanted you for your baby.
Well, joke's on you. And and we ate real quick, and we ate. We hung out for a little bit, and then you ran off.
Good.
Yeah, you ran off to your show, and I went home, and I don't know if I asked you to text me when you got home to make sure you made it home alive. I don't know if you did.
I don't even know what I did. Like, I think I was in in grad school when I did that, and I was just desperate for an escape. So I think what I did is I actually drove down that day and had dinner with you.
Yeah.
And then I think I drove back that night. I didn't even stay the night.
Yeah.
But it was a great concert.
Yeah.
Not to be like a shameless plug here, but Miranda Lambert is great in concert.
Well, hey, if Miranda wants to come on the show, we'll have her.
And and hey, every plug you do, that's $10.
Yeah.
Thanks, Christine. I really appreciate that.
I'll drop as many names as I need.
You just keep paying those bills, and it'll be good. We'll send you a bill at the end of the show.
Shameless.
So Christine, set it up for us a little bit. Who are you? Where are you from? Where are you living now? You said you're in grad school. Tell us all about what you're up to these days.
Yeah.
Well, I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. So a product of the New South. And I just graduated actually a couple weeks ago with my master's.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you. In history. So I do history. And I started this program on YouTube, just a little web series called The History Gal. And I started that in August of last year because why not?
Well, yeah.
That's a good question.
I mean, that's why you're on the show, Christine. Why would we know the answer to that? I don't know.
See, I do. It really was. It was something I've been thinking about for probably a year. Like, I've been thinking about it like, oh, that would be really fun. And I think people would really like that. And then I spent a couple of weeks in London doing research. And when I came back, I just thought, it's time to do it. Yeah. Let's pull the trigger. Let's just see what happens. And it has been really fun.
You were in London for research for your master's or just for what?
Yeah, for my master's.
Oh, okay.
So I had to write a thesis, which is a slightly less intense version of something like a PhD. But I spent about 6 weeks in London, which was... I probably could have done it in 3, but to be honest, I wanted to see London. I wanted to experience it.
Yeah, I like England. England's fun. Well, I remember when you were about to bring out the show for the first episode because you had like polled everybody on Facebook, all the friends. You're like, hey, what's a length of show you would watch before you turn it off?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, about 3 minutes. That's about about 3 to 5 minutes. That's
and
about
your shortest video is 3 minutes.
Yeah,
so that's for you, Derek.
I'm fairly long-winded, so I think I disregarded that, and I usually end up around 6.5.
Yeah, all right. Well, you know what? Don't ask for my opinion next time, Don't put out a public poll and expect me to answer it. Okay.
No, actually, a lot of I do a lot of YouTube watching, and a lot of the most successful shows are anywhere between 5 and 15 minutes. Yeah. Seems to be.
Yeah, I would love to do 15 minutes. I could certainly talk for 15 minutes. The issue is when you listen to things back, or like as musicians, you listen to songs back and you think, oh, you know what? We went maybe one chorus too long.
Yeah.
It's definitely that. I sometimes will sit there and I'll be like, wow, I wish I didn't have to hear my voice for 7.5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
I think your videos are great, though. They're very well produced. Do you do it all yourself, or do you have someone that's helping you produce it, or what?
I have an awesome team. It is a husband and wife team called One Eyed Pop, and they are based here in Charlotte. And they are so great. They met with me. We had a couple of drinks, and I said, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm thinking. And they both said, we love history. We want to help you.
Wow.
And they came right on, and they've been with me the whole time. And I'm just so pleased. They are so good at graphics and music, and it's just such a good team.
Yeah. Did you Do you remember much after you got that first drink with them? Or was there like a couple days, it was a haze, and then you're like, what happened?
And you wake up listening to Jimmy Buffett, and you're like, where am I? Is this Miami?
I mean, you'd have to be crazy to be able to include Jimmy Buffett in a conversation in 2018.
Well, that's Nick O'Kelly for you.
I'm so proud of you.
Good job, Nick.
I do what I can around here.
I know he works really hard on it.
Yeah, that's right.
It's actually really funny because I said it was a husband and wife team, and the woman that works with us, her father really loves Jimmy Buffett, and she said that there's some sort of musical with Jimmy Buffett songs, maybe like a Margaritaville musical.
Oh yeah, Tank. Yeah, it did really. Right. It did really bad on Broadway, right? Like it was losing money or hemorrhaging money, and they're like, "All right, dude, this is going down this summer."
Well,
I think I read that.
I don't know how it did, but I think that she has told me that she has family members who absolutely loved it.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, really, if you like Jimmy Buffett, you're going to like a show with all his songs. I mean,
that's right. She makes fun of it, though. She'll be like, I don't know how you make Margaritaville into a Broadway tune, but they managed it.
Well, I didn't want to tell you guys this, but talking about shameless plugs, we actually have a secret special sponsor tonight. It's the Margaritaville musical, just a little bit of...
Yeah, that ain't happening.
No, but come on, Margaritaville, how does that do bad when SpongeBob is up for a Tony?
I know.
You know what? No, I am devil's advocate on this one. This music for SpongeBob is pretty great.
Yeah.
This thing is doing great.
Don't think for 1 second that I'm not turning on the Tonys right after this episode.
Oh, okay. All right. Is that on tonight?
I think it is tonight. I think it is.
I'm so sorry, Christina. If I would have known.
Yeah, Harry Potter is up. SpongeBob is up, and there was another one too that was like, what? Did they make a music? I can't remember what it was. But anyway, yeah.
I had just seen Andrew Garfield won a Tony.
Yep.
I don't care about him. After him and what's her face broke up, I was like, all right, dude, you're old news. And when Spider-Man went under, dude, don't care. You're gone.
Yeah.
Once the Broadway show Spider-Man had killed its last person.
Yeah. I lived in New York during this, and it was crazy. Like, all the time, I'd hear lots of crazy crap from people who like worked and were a part of it. I'm like, oh, man.
That was bad.
Yeah.
That's sort of like when you get the Facebook meme that says, like, don't hang on to something just because you spent a lot of time making a mistake.
Yeah. Spider-Man, the musical.
Just let it go.
Just let it.
Just walk away.
Well, Nick, one of your favorite movies was Across the Universe. You remember that movie?
Across the Universe is phenomenal.
Well, you remember Prudence.
Yeah.
And she was in that Spider-Man, and she was one of the first casualties. She, like, fell and broke something.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, she was Prudence.
That's horrible.
Yeah, because Julie.
Derek really brought this down.
Who was it?
Now our audience is like this.
Who was the director? It was Julie.
Taymor.
Yeah, and she had done like Lion King on Broadway, and then she directed Across the Universe. So she did that, and she was able to get Prudence on her show, because she worked with her in a movie. And she was the villain of the show, the spider or whatever it was, and she fell. And she broke something, and then she was out for a couple months. Now,
before anybody picks up this podcast and writes an article about how Christine Morgan trashed Julie Taymor, I would like to say that when I was in London, I went and saw Lion King, and I've never seen it before.
Oh.
And I got to tell you, that is a masterpiece of American theater.
Yeah,
I really want to see it.
I saw it.
Did you?
Yeah.
I really want to go see that.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I cried. I cried in the opening number, and that's it's really hard to make me cry in a show.
Well, to be fair, I just broken up with you. I texted you and told you right before the show, I think we should see other people.
We're not supposed to air our dirty laundry.
I bought her that ticket and didn't show. And that was my way of letting her know.
I'm trying to run the gamut. I'm trying to see all the Disney shows. I saw Aladdin and Tarzan. I haven't seen Lion King yet.
Oh, Tarzan would destroy me.
It was good. Really good, actually.
Collins, he just killed it on that one.
He did. But yeah, the only thing that I didn't like about Lion King is that the actors, you knew like they worked so hard to not sound like the movie. And you're like, just say the line like the movie and stop it. Yeah. Like the guy who played Scar, I quiver with fear, like he does in the movie. Well, on the stage, he's like, I quiver with fear. And I'm like, well, that's not how it should go at all. Who the hell would say that?
Wow, Darth Vader really did that better than you.
Yeah. So I like a masterpiece from a view standpoint. That was the only thing that irked me. It was just like, God, I know the movie inside and out. I saw it a lot.
Yeah.
We've talked a lot about
I knew going in that visually it would be stunning, but you can't really picture it until you're there. So if you haven't seen Lion King, I'm telling you, it is worth it.
Yes, and it quite literally.
Number 2.
Well, it's quite literally the movie on stage. I really didn't realize they were gonna like word through word copy the movie. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I know this.
Well, but it makes sense because they're already musicals. Seeing Aladdin was really good too, and the only thing was they changed Iago out for like 3 random guys, or not a random guy and Abu out for 3 random guys.
Wow.
So Aladdin had 3 friends instead of Abu, and I'm like, just give me a puppet.
Listen, I saw Avenue Q and it was still really, really popular. And I'm telling you, audiences can deal with puppets.
Yeah.
I'm down. I am down for a puppet. Give me a puppet.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of good things about that show.
Yeah, it was great. It was excellent, actually. I was surprised. I thought I would go in. I knew the music going in, and I thought maybe the music is the best part. But honestly, the whole show was great.
Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, so your background is you went to how you and I met. So we all went to Catawba. Ooh, small world.
Yeah. Well, we're really just getting all of our Catawba friends on here.
Yeah, I know. It's just really to the Echo Radio and Catawba friends. I know. We're trying to get everybody. But
did you get Kanan?
Not yet.
Not yet. I mean, I could probably just call him and be like, dude,
just call him. We need somebody in 2 weeks.
You're not playing it Sunday, right?
You give him a call and I'll shoot him a text and we'll get him on.
Okay, yeah. He'll be fun. He's been busting his ass trying to
soon we'll have
get
Dr.
famous.
Fish on here.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh, wouldn't that be funny?
Yeah.
It would be.
I don't know if he'd want to talk to us.
No, he wouldn't.
A couple of years ago, I feel really bad. Dr. Fish did reach out to me a couple of years ago to call him. I was like, dude, I'll call you really soon. And then I forgot. And here we are, 2 years later. I feel bad because I have nothing against him.
He shaved his head.
He did. Yeah, I saw. But the big thing for me was essentially, I don't know. I'm like, well, I'm not famous. I'm not a hit songwriter, and I've gained a lot of
no excuse to blow him off.
Yeah, I've gained weight. I don't want him to see me in this form. I want it to be like, hey, I just won a Grammy, and I have 6-pack abs. What's up?
I think you should say that anyway.
Yeah. He'll be really surprised at homecoming.
Just tell him that you're the Hulk or something.
Yeah,
and
right.
This is.
Did you see the new Disney movie Hulk?
Fat Hulk.
Yeah, right.
Hulk really let himself go.
Gosh. He'd be so shocked and proud.
I know. I tried. I worked really hard in college.
Yeah.
But that being said,
no, you didn't.
Well, all right. Yeah, I didn't work very hard.
Last year you did.
Christine, you and I didn't know each other very much in my early years of college, but
right.
My first year I was actually very focused.
Yes,
it was when we started working on my album in the studio where I was like, F this school thing. I'm going to be a rock star. I don't need any of this. So,
oh my gosh, you got too big for your britches.
I really did, and there were some classes I probably should have paid a little more attention to. Music history was one of them. In fact, with music history, I flunked out of it.
And all those excuses I gave for you.
I know. Nick showed up early and went in there, and he would be like, yeah, because Nick and I were constantly missing class together, but he missed a little less than me, so he passed.
Yeah.
But they only offered it every other year, second semester, so it ended up being on an off year my junior year, so I had to come back a fifth year, and and take
right.
just take that class. That was the only reason why I came back to graduate.
Well, if I'm being honest, I never skipped the music classes, although in the first college I went to, as you know very well, I did the college tour of North Carolina.
Yeah.
In my first college, I definitely flunked music theory the first time.
Good job.
But when I was at Catawba, I honestly just couldn't get myself to the dance classes because, I was musical theater, so I was tap and ballet and jazz.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I flunked all of those.
Wow.
Well, let me ask you a very important question in reference to that. How many times have you jazz danced since college?
I mean, none.
Oh, okay, good.
So there you go.
Man, well, you dodged a bullet there.
Yeah.
Catawba College.
I think I got really, in some ways, it was really lucky because, Derek, you took a 5th year and you finished it.
Yeah.
I just transferred.
Yeah, you did. You did transfer.
I was like, I'm out of here. But then, my type really isn't dancing. My type was singing.
Yeah.
So I didn't find a particular need for it other than getting a degree.
Yeah.
So it was hard to motivate.
Yeah, it's true. Like, Christine, I remember the very first time I saw you it was before we met. I remember being in the basketball. It was like a basketball field towards the back of the school near the Kettner building. And you were like hanging out with other people playing basketball. And
what?
Yeah, I just remember this distinctly because I was like, "Who's that girl?" And
it's that girl.
It was a meet cute, except we didn't meet. And so I was like, all right.
This is all in Derek's head.
Yeah, I know.
Right.
No, I remember distinctly because I'd never seen you before.
And he wrote a song about it.
No, I didn't. I never wrote a song for Christine.
That
I'm
girl
sorry.
I never
I'm sorry.
met.
I've written songs.
You didn't write a song about me?
I've written songs with you, but not for you. Yeah.
You were supposed to give me the song so we could play it.
I know. I have it on my iPad if we need it. Because I did. I wanted to show off your song. The song
pull
we did
it up.
together.
I've got a thing we can plug it in.
Cool. Yeah.
You did such a good job with it.
Yeah.
You did such a good job with that song.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, you came, you visited me, and we locked ourselves in my garage. Also, my music room.
This story's getting better and better.
I know. It was hot. No, and it was because it was like 90 degrees outside.
Oh.
No, I moved my music room into the house now, so it's a lot nicer. But
she came to the Charleston house.
She came to the White House that I lived at. Yeah. But anyways, we
recorded a whole album in there.
We did. But God dang it, Nick. That was why, because she wanted to come back down and record again, and I was like, God, I didn't have the time. I was like, I'm recording this stuff with him. It sucked balls because I did. I'm like, I want to. Time was.
I remember you telling me she came down. Now now it's all coming together for me.
Yeah. What is the song called? It's
what's the song called, Christine? You sang on it. Remember that one?
God, that's a good question.
Achy Breaky Heart, something like that.
Derek, was it the Speak My Mind song?
Speak. Yeah. There it is. Yep.
That was like the first song I wrote. You go through your phases, and I went through a songwriting phase. I was like okay at it, but in Charlotte, there are really there are good songwriters here.
Yeah. Well,
so,
no, not after I moved. There's not, but there was. No, I'm kidding.
What was I thinking?
I'm overusing this. Every time you plug something, including yourself, you're getting the cash register.
Myself. Everything available for free somewhere. I don't even know where.
So turn your volume all the way up. So, Christine, so where did you get your did you get your master's in Charlotte or what?
I did. I ended up doing my master's at UNCC.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's one of those things where you think you're going to really hate going to school somewhere that you're from.
Yeah.
That's a good school, though.
I've been pleasantly proven wrong. It was a great program. There are really great instructors. And they kind of let me do exactly what I wanted.
That's awesome.
Which was the tap
awesome.
Dance.
It was
no.
It was like being the artist that finally, someone said, you know what, write the album you want to write.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how I approached my thesis. It was like, I'm going to write exactly what I'm interested in, and hopefully you can help me.
Yeah. No, that's great.
Yeah.
It's just so funny, like how all that came together. Because you and I met, we talked about this a little bit at the show just to make sure we had the same memory.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't.
Derek likes to,
I exaggerate. I was like, so we were at a strip club. She's like, Derek, we were not at a strip. It was at a. It was actually at a church
next to the stage.
It was in a church. I'd like to go ahead and just quickly interject.
Yeah, it totally was. It was totally. It was a church. It was actually at the college. It was the church. There was a basement, and I was playing like an open mic, and after I played, then Christine came up and was, like, that was really good, and I was like, yeah, and we got talking, and I was just like, wow, she's really cool, like I've never met her before. She's really cool. And I remember the next day, my buddy, Matt, he was like hanging out. I was like, dude, I met this girl yesterday, and she was so cool. And I was explaining, I was like, yeah, she does this. She's been going here. I think she just transferred and all this. And he's like, what's she look like? And I was like, yeah, she got brown hair and blah, blah. He's like, yeah, that's my girlfriend. I'm like, no, it's not your girlfriend. I guess Matt and I hadn't talked much lately at that point.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, that's not your girlfriend. I would know that. And yeah,
no, you wouldn't.
It was totally his girlfriend. And I was like, oh, damn it.
Well, that's too bad.
I know. I hate to have done it to you.
Hopefully
this
you
week
didn't.
on To the Echo Turns, Derek Daisy meets up with an old fling.
Yeah,
who wasn't ever his fling anyway.
I know.
Just one of her roommates.
I was just
after they met at a coffee shop.
That's right. She was just.
Whoa.
Well, it's fine, Christine. I forgive you, but I'll never forget.
And he won't.
Yeah, he won't.
We'll bring you on again in 20 years when you're like a millionaire in Hollywood or something.
Same story.
The same story.
Be like, you could have been with me. No, it was. Hey, who knows?
Daisy, I'm sorry.
You're fine. Hey, from that point, we got to know each other indirectly, and then then we started writing together. We started writing some songs. We did this really cool song. I wish we got a chance to record because I really love it.
Yeah, I think we recorded it on a phone. I do have a recording of it, but it was like something that we did on a park bench.
Yeah, just so we wouldn't forget it. I was like,
yeah.
I don't want to forget this song. So we met up on the college campus and we just sat outside and wrote it together.
Speak My Mind.
No, this was a different one.
Okay.
This is a different one. She has videos of her playing it with another guitar player online.
Oh. Yeah.
She cheated on me with
I just kept cheating on you.
I know. My heart just keeps getting torn and torn and torn.
I know.
But this song, I pulled it out of the filing cabinet. No, a few years ago, she came down to visit. We recorded everything. She came down to the garage, and she brought me some songs that she had worked on, and she'd shown me this one, and she essentially had the idea down. She had kind of a basic piano track, and I was like, well, we could kind of make this like a, I don't know, just like kind of a cool little groovy song, and man, I really busted your chops with singing it, though. I was like, no, we're doing it again. Do it again.
Well, it's been a while since I've heard this. Christine's okay for you if we play it?
Oh, sure. I haven't heard it in ages.
Well, that's yeah. All right. Well, that doesn't sound very arrogant. I like that. So I love listening to me. Woo!
So
it's my favorite song.
This is "Speak My Mind," copyright Derek Daisy, Christine Morgan.
Yeah. Well, she wrote it. I just recorded it and produced a little bit of the music. She wrote it. Yeah.
Well, let's take a listen. And Christine, hang on. We'll be right back.
Sure.
Why ask my opinion if you're just gonna write me off? Make me apologize for nothing when you insist that I'm wrong. Whoa, I know where you turn on me, and I wasn't prepared to be your enemy. speak my mind. Yeah, yeah. You tell everyone that I get you, but what I get is to agree with you. So why you bother asking? Oh, what my heart says is real, yeah. And I guess that it's inconvenient for you that I feel what a big man you are, hoping you'll leave a scar, but you don't understand. I don't have the time for words you don't mean. They cut like a knife, and all I do is speak my mind. How charming you'd be if you would listen to me. I am fed up with all of your games. I won't wish on a shooting star. Doubt it get me that far. There aren't enough anyway. What a big man you are, hoping you'll leave a scar, but you don't understand that I simply don't have the time for words you don't mean. They cut like a knife. Oh, what a big man you are, hoping to leave a scar on this heart of mine with words you don't mean, for which I don't have the time, and I'm gonna speak my mind. Yeah.
And that was Christine Morgan.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Speak my mind. Very cool. Very cool. So I remember him playing this for me after you did it. It was great.
Yeah. We had fun, man. I mean, you had like all those vocal harmonies in the back. Remember that, man? Where I was just like, all right, we'll try this. And I
Oh
only
my God. And you made me play the piano on it, and
Yeah.
I was so nervous.
I know. I was like, I can fix it. This is Hollywood. Don't worry. Just play your rhythm. Play it the way you want to play it, and then I'll straighten up a little bit, and I'll get on the drums. And yeah, I just essentially, because I wanted you to have your part in it. Like, I wanted you to perform in it. And then from there, I just tried to add it. But I remember being like, I want to put tambourine in the chorus. You're like, I don't want a tambourine. I'm like, no. Listen.
Tambourine.
I was like, listen, it's not like, tambourine. It's going to be blended in very well, but it's going to add something to the chorus. And
Miss Derek Daisy, it's not Bono.
Yeah. So, so hopefully, I mean, you sounded like you came around to the tambourine after I showed it to you. And
yeah. I think it's quite a jam. I honestly haven't heard that in a really long time, and that was really fun to hear.
Yeah.
Boy, I was salty.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I remember. Well, because
I don't hear that term very often.
Yeah, salty. I
as
know.
opposed to pepper.
Well,
I mean, I know what you mean.
She's a
but-
history major, Nick. So all her terminology is 1600s dialogue.
Right. Who would have thought that I'd go from that to history? But
yeah, because Nick asked me while we're listening. He's like, "Did she do anything with this?" I'm like, "Well, you know, I wasn't available, and she got with another musician, and then she became a history major, and then went
big old dumpster fire."
Yeah, but it's pretty much.
Yeah.
But no, we put it on Reverb Nation, remember? And it ended up going really high on Charlotte music.
Yeah, it was like top 10 in Charlotte for, over a year.
Yeah. It was
It stayed top 10.
Yeah. And the problem was, because, you're like, Derek, I'll do more. I'll pay you. And I hate taking money from friends. I hate it. And I know it's a necessity to live, but I'm like, well, I don't want to get paid for it because I do it because I just have fun doing it with you. But I need money, so I have to do this other stuff, but I don't want to take money from you. It was just the worst dilemma of my life.
And just look at you now.
Right now.
It was really good though. Like, I think in general, if we're going to talk about like becoming and historian, which I am, with the goals of doing like television and public speaking.
Yeah.
I think in general, starting out with something like music and theater, it was just really, really helpful.
Yeah.
And even though that wasn't what I stuck with, those are still the skills that I'm using when I say, you know, well, I've done a lot of television. Let's do a web series.
Yeah. You were on the news because during the royal wedding recently. You're on the news just talking around with the news anchor ladies, and I'm like, man, and they called you an historian, and
you were in the studio?
Yeah, she was in the
that's awesome.
She's done it a few times.
Very cool. Yeah, so let's bring that back around since you're on the show to promote yourself. What are you? I mean, what are you wanting to do with this show? You're hoping this becomes your permanent gig. You're getting experience. What is your goals with your history education?
Great question, Nick.
What the hell is that about? Hey, I ask good questions.
Can you picture me doing like finger guns? Like, great question.
Good job,
I
Nick.
can.
You can send him a picture.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was graphic.
Oh gosh. This is why you don't do podcasts with your friends.
Yeah, ever.
Or maybe it's why you do podcasts with your friends.
Yeah, come on.
We love you, Christine. We love you.
We're the best.
I love you too. So I think in general, the point is, in the States specifically, we don't have history programming like you would find in Europe, like BBC, something like that, where people talk about different subjects in history, and they get these shows, these 1-hour documentaries on the big channels, like you would see something on NBC now. And I think that there's a real market for it. People love history programming. People sign up for Netflix so that they can get these hour documentaries or these series that you would find on BBC or Yesterday or something like that. But we're not really making them here.
Hey, what about Pawn Stars? That's a great program.
Yeah, right.
And it is not a bash on what we do have.
Oh, okay, good.
Than to say that it is fairly male driven.
Oh, whoa.
This took a turn.
Where's my gun, Nick?
Strapped in.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
But it's true. You don't ever turn on the History Channel and see a woman hosting a series about archaeology.
Yeah.
Well, you don't really see much archaeology on the History Channel anymore, honestly.
No.
True. And that's not to say that they couldn't do it and that they couldn't do it well. It's just to say that there's a definite audience for it, and there isn't a program to fulfill that audience. And so I started a web series, and I talked generally about royal history, UK history, and my thesis in particular was about royal mistresses, the idea of women in power. And people have been really, really responsive. It's just so fun.
Yeah.
Especially, to have a job where you get to ask people to send you to travel, essentially.
Yeah.
But you have to have a good reason for it, right? Otherwise, they look at you and say, oh, you just want a vacation.
Well, that and history. Yeah.
History, right.
I'll tell you what, though. I really like the show. I went through and watched several of your videos. There was one on Charlotte. And your Thanksgiving one was great. Like I said, the graphics and all are awesome, but I mean the show itself, the programming, is very, very well done. I enjoyed it.
Thank you.
And she just started her second season on June 6th, I believe. Is that correct?
Thursday of last week.
Yeah.
So I think it was the 7th.
And it's about the Tudor.
Yes.
Yes, the Tudor.
We are doing a series all about the Tudors. So our first episode was like fashion and beauty standards. And I'll tell you what, guys, there are some really crazy things.
Yeah. Like the honey thing. It was like, wait a minute, they use honey as mouthwash?
They used it as toothpaste because sugar was new. It was the newest import. So anything they could put it in, they did put it in.
Oh my God!
That explains the bad teeth.
Yeah, Queen Elizabeth put sugar in her wine. Can you imagine?
Oh God, that sounds horrible.
Wow.
I know. So we really went into that. And we'll go into it a little more. We do have an episode coming up about food and medicine where we talk a little bit more about the sugar, which was just, although I think about it now, and I mean, toothpaste is sweet. Yeah. There has to be sugar in our toothpaste.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also a lot of fluoride in there, but that's another
not honey. Like, here's a whole thing on, because the Queen, was it Queen Victoria, Queen Elizabeth, who was the queen that like all her teeth fell out?
Elizabeth the First, all her teeth fell out, so she would stuff her cheeks with scented cotton and fabric to hide the bad breath and to fill out her cheeks.
I love when my women do that.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Well, Christine, I have a couple of questions for you about the logistics of the show, but let's play your trailer real quick.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just as like I said, we want to plug it.
Yeah.
So let's take a listen. This is the History Gal. Find her on YouTube, and yeah.
All right, history lovers. I'm Christine Morgan, and I'm your History Gal. In this brand new YouTube series, I'll be taking you on an adventure through some of history's most fascinating mysteries, brutal battles, and notorious leaders. I can't wait to show you that history isn't just fact, it's fun.
Yeah, it's a very fun trailer.
Yeah.
So that's the History Gal.
Great job with it.
So how are you filming this? Do you go and do because they're short episodes, so do you go do like the whole season at one time, or you do a few? How does the production look like?
Yeah, well, it's definitely evolved. For people who go back and they watch season 1, they'll see that we have a lot of interviews with authors.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually did some traveling to meet those authors who were on book tours. And so that was kind of a spread out process.
Yeah.
But this season, because we've picked the Tudors, we've been able to really focus. And we shot season 2 in, I think, 3 days.
Okay. Wow.
And we just do it in my house. I just set up my dining room as a set, and people just come into my house, and I hope that they're supposed to be here.
Well, and for anybody who doesn't know where you live, if you want to say your address out loud.
For sure.
Yeah, okay.
1600
Yeah.
Pennsylvania Avenue.
Show up with some signs.
Yeah.
And yeah.
We'll get you on the show.
We welcome all opinions.
Now, I have something planned this evening. I clued both of you in this a little.
Yeah.
Now again, Nick, do it.
Oh, no.
All right. So, I got some history questions here. Well, I guess it's a mix of history and I try to go in the United Kingdom based history because I thought you would stand the best chance of beating Nick. Yeah, I try not to set the show up for people to lose. But Nick does. He likes watching me lose.
Yeah, normally I'm the game show host, but since you're his guest,
he
got you on here, so now I
want to get Nick fired. Okay. So the way this works, it's going to be multiple choice.
Okay.
But Nick, I'm going to need you to keep count, okay?
Oh God.
Oh,
okay.
Just keep count, you dumb.
I got it.
All right. No cheating. All right. Essentially, it's multiple choice. It's 1 point per question. I'm going to make this a simple one, okay?
All right. Well, wait, 1 point per question.
1 point per question.
Right,
so if you get it right, you get it right. If you
How
get
many
it wrong,
questions?
it's wrong. I think there is.
There are.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Yes. Thank you, Christine. Thank you. 15 questions. Jesus.
Okay.
All right. So since you're the guest, Christine, of course, I'm going to start with you.
No.
It's multiple choice.
I'm so nervous.
I know. If I really disprove the history gal, this is going to be a real true win for the Echo Radio Show.
Oh, God.
But remember, I picked the topic that I thought you might know something about. So this isn't like 1990s Cartoon Network trivia. This is...
Thank God.
Yeah. I know. Nick had some good trivia.
I would have had you on that one.
Nick was ready to go.
I believe that. I do.
All right, Christine. So we're going to go with question number 1. Now, remember, if you get it wrong, just no points. If you get it right, you get a point. All right, ready to go?
I'm ready.
All right. Which countries make up Great Britain? England, Scotland, and Northern Ireland? Mm-hmm. England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland? Wales and England? Or England, Scotland, and Wales?
I am going to go with B.
England, Scotland, Wales, and Northern Ireland. Is that your final answer?
It is.
Oh. Well.
Does it not include Wales anymore?
It does include Wales. It doesn't include Northern Ireland.
Oh. Ireland is tricky.
Tricky.
It is. That's okay.
All right.
I still forgive you. Okay.
Here we go.
All right. Well, watch as Nick fails this one. All right, Nick.
I'm ready.
Question. Which tribal leader fought against the Roman conquest of Britain?
Jeez.
Hadrian? Boudica?
Oh, my God. You can't even say the name.
I know. I'm sorry. King Canute or Churchill?
Oh, my God.
Fought against who?
He fought against the Roman conquest of Britain.
Oh, my God.
I know.
Let's
Hadrian,
go with...
Boudica, King Canute, or Churchill?
Oh, my God.
All right, I'll go with Hadrian.
Hadrian. Is that your final answer, Nick?
Yes.
Sorry, Nick.
Who was it? I'm so interested to know.
Boudica. I guess if that's how you say it. But,
right.
Derek, do you know what year that was?
I don't. I scoured the internet for quizzes that were multiple choice that would give me the answers and the wrong answers.
And this is what he came up with.
Yeah.
Took him all of 5 minutes.
I know. No, it didn't.
No.
I spent my whole lunch hour.
It's not so easy, is it? Now you appreciate me more.
Hey, shut up, Nick. There's plenty of 90s trivia out there. God. Nobody wants to talk about the United Kingdom. Here we go. All right.
Here we go.
This is for Christine.
All right.
Christine, which king defeated the Vikings at the end of the 9th century?
Well, everybody knows that.
King Alfred the Great, King Canute, King William, or King John?
When you say, well, no, I don't think that's possible.
Okay.
It's really hard.
I know. Believe me, I don't know anything.
I mean, I guess maybe A.
King Alfred the Great?
Let's try it. I don't know if there was an Alfred I don't know.
Well, as history gal, of course, King Alfred the Great did exist. Thank God. You were just bluffing with that little, I don't know if he's a real king. Yeah, good job. You get 1 point.
Can you imagine if there was a King John in the 800s?
Well.
Robin Hood and Little John walking to the fair.
All right, Nick. When did the English first impose English laws on Wales and the Welsh?
Okay.
The start of the 13th century, the first half of the 14th century, the first half of the 15th century, or the first half of the 16th century?
Let's go with B.
The first half of the 14th century?
Yes.
You know, it's funny, Nick. I picked that, and I got it wrong, too.
Oh, no.
Well, isn't this fun?
Christine leads 1-0. Question.
Yeah, we all know that.
Question 5.
All right.
Which famous document eventually led to the formation of Parliament in England?
Oh, come on.
The Doomsday Book.
Yeah, that's it.
The Magna Carta, the Minor Carta, or the Carta Majorum?
I'm gonna kill you.
I mean Magna Carta.
Well, you would be right, Christine.
Yeah.
You took a very comfortable lead on Nick.
Christine, I'm going to be honest. If you did not know that one,
Yeah.
I think that would completely discredit your channel.
That's so bad, right?
The History Gal, yeah.
The Doomsday Book for $5 million. I'll take that one, Trebek.
Everyone build a shelter.
All right. Nick, under the feudal system, what were people who worked the land called? Slaves, serfs, yeomen, or troglodytes?
That would be serfs for $500,000.
Well, Nick, that's not the game we're playing, but you're correct.
Yes.
Serfs. Finally, Nick gets on the board, but Christine doesn't give a shit. All right, question 7. All right, Christine, here we go.
Here it is.
All right.
What proportion of the population of the UK were killed by the Black Death? A quarter?
God.
A third? Half? Or 3/4?
Oh.
I know. Not that Christine thinks of death all that much, but
How do you like it, Christine?
Gosh.
she loves this.
I would say half.
Half. Well, I would say you're wrong.
Yeah. That sounds like too much, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does. Half the people, Christine, really? Jesus.
It was 3/4.
I mean,
wasn't
a
it?
lot of people died, Derek.
I know. It was a third. A third of the people.
Okay.
A third of the people. That's still
That's
still pretty. That's a lot of people.
That's 33%. I haven't even lived 33% of my life yet.
I know it.
Assuming that I live to 100.
Interesting.
To play a historian devil's advocate,
Yeah.
I would say part of it is because there were a lot of traditions that killed cats,
Oh.
and cats could have killed the rat and might have made a difference.
Well, the more you know.
The more you know.
I don't have that sound effect.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we don't give points to people who go off on history tangents. So it's still 2
Good
to
try.
1.
Nice
You know
try.
what? I give myself points.
Hey, no, you can't do that, Christine. It's not how the game works. Question 8.
I think the guest is always right.
Yeah. Maybe in America that's how it works, but here in the UK, we don't do that. Okay. All right, Nick.
All right.
And my best English accent.
I'm ready.
Which kinds of skilled... No, that's terrible. Which kinds of skilled workers did not come to England in large numbers from Europe in the Middle Ages? Canal builders, weavers, carpenters, or engineers?
What century?
Which kind of skilled workers did not come to England in large numbers from Europe in the Middle Ages?
Okay, all right.
I guess I'll go with engineers.
Engineers, huh?
Yep.
Now, what made you pick that?
Well, it's the Middle Ages.
Uh-huh.
Canal builders, weavers, and carpenters.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would assume that those were the trades that would be there.
So engineers is your answer?
Yeah.
Well, as an engineer, Nick, you're wrong.
Oh. Well, that's too bad.
Well, I wish you did better. All right, Christine, here we go.
Which one was
yeah,
it?
right. Carpenters.
Carpenters?
Yeah.
Carpenters, yeah.
Of course, people needed houses, Nick.
I guess they built a lot with stone.
Yeah, I don't know what they did. It
I
doesn't,
don't know if they called them engineers.
doesn't give me a history
It was
lesson.
all wood. You'd be surprised how many people died in house fires in the Middle Ages.
No, I wouldn't. That is a horrible accusation. I would not be surprised. In fact, I'd be.
I think I disagree with this quiz.
Yeah, I protest.
No, that's not how this works.
All right.
You had your fun, Nick. It's my turn. Christine, which monarch established the Church of England?
Oh, gosh.
King
I don't need a multiple. I don't need it.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Henry VIII.
You would be correct.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good.
man.
Okay.
All right, I'm glad.
3-1.
3-1.
Oh, jeez.
I know. I told
I
you,
could
Nick.
do a whole season on the Tudors if I didn't know that.
I know.
Jeez.
That would be really bad.
Yeah, this is good publicity for you.
Yeah.
We'll send you a bill.
Yeah. All right, Nick. Which monarch was defeated by Oliver Cromwell in the English Civil War?
Whoa.
Elizabeth I, James I, Charles I, or Henry VII?
Oliver Cromwell.
Yeah.
You can do it, Nick.
No, you can't, Nick.
Let's go with Elizabeth I.
Well, she would be correct and you being wrong.
Okay. I don't know.
It's Charles I, Nick.
Okay.
Come on, everybody knows
that. Well, that would have been my second choice.
Yeah, well, it should have been your first, you moron. All right.
They chopped off his head.
Well, yeah.
Oh.
Well, that makes it better. Thank you, Christine. Always giving us your history insight.
Yeah.
Ding. Did you know he got beheaded? Ding, ding. I love it. I love it. All right, Christine, who was the first prime minister?
Oh.
William Wilberforce, Robert Walpole, Benjamin Disraeli, or William Gladstone?
Oh, jeez.
I'll give you a hint. It's not Winston Churchill.
Right. And it's not Theresa May.
I don't know.
Hey, it could be Margaret
I
Thatcher.
would say, I feel like Walpole sounds right.
Robert Walpole. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Congratulations. That was it. Wow. The History Gal takes the lead with 4-1. God, Nick, you look like a dummy.
This is boring.
Yeah, this isn't pop culture at all. I'm sorry, but this was appropriate.
I'm just kidding. I just hate losing. Okay, go ahead.
I know.
Go ahead. What's
Nick.
the next?
All right, Nick, you
This
ready?
one's for 20 points.
Yeah,
No, I'm
it's
just
not.
kidding. It's not.
When did potato famine in Ireland lead to great numbers of deaths owing to starvation and disease?
Oh, my God.
The mid-19th century, the early 17th century, the mid-18th century, or the early 20th century?
Go with the mid-19th century.
Is that your final answer, Nick?
Yes.
All right. We're going to give that one to you.
Well, I knew that the Irish immigrants came over for it.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a big old wave.
Well, I didn't know that. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm just the guy who reads the answers.
I know some things.
Yeah, well, you don't know everything. Right now, you're losing to a girl, 4-2, Nick.
Yeah.
Remember
This
that.
is why I was a bad actor. I have no competitive spirit, and all I want to say is, good job, Nick.
Well, let me teach you how it's done. You suck.
All right, Christine. It's time for you to fight back. This is your chance to stick it in his face.
I'm just kidding.
Which were the first colonies granted independence by the Labor Party in 1947?
Dear God.
The United States of America, India, Pakistan, and Ceylon, which is now Sri Lanka, Australia, New Zealand, and Singapore, or India, Pakistan, and Assam?
My gosh.
I'm going to have to repeat some of that.
I know. I'm sorry. If you do need repeating.
1947?
1947. These were the first colonies granted independence by the Labor Party.
Whichever one included India.
Well, there's two that included India, so I'll read them both to you.
Okay.
India, Pakistan, and Ceylon, or India, Pakistan, and Assam.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Ceylon. The one with Ceylon. It's a guess.
And that was a good guess.
Wow.
I'm impressed.
It got you to number 5. Okay. Speaking of a third of the people dying, you've now passed 33% of this test. Good job. All right, Nick.
I feel like LeBron James. Losing.
Look like LeBron.
Nick looks just like LeBron James. I tell him that every day.
Yeah, I'm big and, well.
And he's terrible at basketball,
We're not going to go there. Yeah. But I am losing, and that's what counts.
All right, Nick. Which British prime minister oversaw the introduction of the National Health Service?
All right.
Ooh.
Winston Churchill, Anthony Eden, Clement Attlee, or Harold Macmillan?
God.
I know, it hurts.
It hurt.
Let's go with Clementine.
You mean Clement Attlee?
Yes.
Guess what, Nick? You're not a complete dunce.
Telling you.
I'm proud of you. But you know
That's a
what?
good guess.
Unless Christine just trades in all her points and gets this wrong and then says something anti-Semitic and offends a bunch of people,
You never know.
I know. That's why I'm setting the audience up for
I've been
this to
waiting for
happen.
it the whole time.
Because she might set herself
Something
back.
like oy vey.
She might set herself back 200 years, where we really just have to give it. We might have to give it to Nick if she does all those things, just so the audience doesn't protest. But
Yeah.
all
This is
right.
the last question, right? So
This is the last question.
Make it count, Christine.
If she doesn't get this right, I swear, Christine, if you get this wrong,
Oh my gosh.
I don't know if we can be together anymore. Okay.
That's so much pressure.
What does NATO stand for?
Oh, come on, Derek.
It's not my
You're
fault.
killing me here. You can at least throw me a bone.
I've read them in order, Nick.
Oh God.
North American Treaty Organization, North Assault and Tactical Organization,
That makes sense.
Nations Against Terrorism Organization, or North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
I'm gonna go with North Atlantic Treaty Organization.
And it looks like you're right.
Well,
Well, looks like the better sex wins. Christine, congratulations.
Oh,
6-3.
hurrah.
6-3. How does
So,
it feel? How does it feel?
good job, Christine.
You bested Nicholas O'Kelly.
Yeah.
Nick's pissed. I can tell. He is so mad.
A few of those made me nervous. A couple of those were hard.
You just wait till next week, Derek.
Nick has been torturing me with quizzes for months. This isn't fair.
But that was a good one. I'm proud of you.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Christine, you did amazing. I thought it was up your alley. I'm glad you won. Because it added more credibility to the History Gal show.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm also thrilled that I won, but in hindsight, will always regret thinking half the population died to the plague.
But
Well, hindsight is 2020.
Yeah, it is.
yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Not even
upon
a joke.
reflection.
It's just yeah. Well, Christine, I tell you what, we are very, very fast running out of time. So tell the audience where they can find you on social media. Plug your show a little bit. When can they see your shows? Just plug yourself,
Please.
Absolutely. We do brand new episodes of The History Gal on YouTube, and that's the name of the channel, The History Gal. We do new episodes every other Thursday, and we have about 6 more. So you can tune in as they come. You can also find us on Facebook. It is at The History Gal Show. Or you can find me on Twitter. It's just my personal Twitter. It's at Miss Christine Moe. And I think I'm funny. Maybe you will too.
Well, that's asking a lot of the audience.
The ironic thing is that was the most unfunny thing you said all night.
It's just tragedy.
Oh, man. Yeah. William Shakespeare, anyone?
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Yeah,
it
thank
really
you.
was a pleasure. Your show's great. Hope you'll keep it up.
And if you ever come downtown to Charleston, or if you know you're going to come down, you let me know. And and even on a Sunday, man, if you ever know you're going to be up here hanging out on a Sunday night, it'd be really random. But if you were, you let us know. We'll get you in the studio to hang out while we're...
Ooh, awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe I can run the trivia next time.
Yeah.
Well, listen. Why don't you get your own podcast, okay? We worked really hard on this.
Maybe Derek will be nice enough to take you to the real barbecue.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, if you're paying, I'm going.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works
Yep.
with Derek. So
Equal rights. Equal rights. Everybody deserves a chance of getting a
come on.
paid and for meal.
yeah,
And
get with the times. No handouts here.
Pork sandwich.
yeah. I'll just eat the pulled pork because I can't eat the sandwich. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
on a big diet Christine, right before we go, I've lost 37 pounds. I've been dieting it out, man. So there you go. Boom.
Well, you sound entirely too thin.
Yeah, well, I am dying, but it's partially the cancer, but I like to think it's the diet and the profuse vomination.
Yeah, that. Well, on that note, we're gonna vomit you right off this podcast.
It's gone so well. I can't imagine why.
No, but thanks for coming on, and all the best to you, and we'll be watching you on YouTube.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. It was so fun to talk with you.
Thank you, Christine.
Yeah, likewise.
And I look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Bye, guys.
Have a great night. Bye-bye. Well, that was Christine Morgan.
It was.
Yeah, she was cool.
Yeah, she was fun.
I did. I've watched quite a few of the videos now.
Yeah.
They're good. They're really good.
They're very well produced. And, it's cool. She's grown a lot with each episode, because I remember the very first episode I saw, she's like, any feedback, any? And I, shot over, sent her some feedback. But then I remember just kind of dreaming big with her for a minute. I was like, dude, like, you could make this like a franchise, you could do all this stuff. You can like teach seminars and go to schools and stuff, and you're the history gal. You're the one that everybody comes to, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, she gets a big enough following. That thing is, and she's doing it right. I mean, it's definitely the platform and the way that she does the videos are very reminiscent of most successful YouTube shows. I would say she's got a good chance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I love. Amazing though. If you ever I love history. Like anything to do with history, I love it, and I learn things all the time when I sit down and watch her stuff. Right. And I do. I keep it up every other Thursday. Man, I'm on there.
I learn things every time we do this show. Well, Derek, we're out of time.
Yeah.
I hate it because we got a couple of commercials to play. We'll have to save them.
Dang it.
Yeah, we are over time actually.
Yeah, I know. I think we're 8 minutes over. Yeah. Sorry, everybody.
It's okay. It was a good show.
It was. I had a lot of fun.
So, thanks everyone for listening. Check us out, totheecho.com.
Yeah.
Facebook, Twitter at To The Echo Radio. We do a lot of Twitter stuff.
Yeah.
Become a Patreon at totheecho.com, and also Spreaker. We'd like to mention SPREAKER.com. Search for To The Echo Radio Show.
And if you like porn, don't
watch this show.
Yeah, because we're not doing it.
No. But on that note,
it's To The Echo Radio Show. You have a great night. We'll see you on Wednesday.
I'm Nick O'Kelly.
I'm Dave Gazy.
See you then.